na yung recording. Okay? Naglo-load pa siya. Ayun. So once again, good morning everyone. And today we will be discussing the second part of the lesson under integration. Okay? So in this lesson, we will discuss, wait, dito pala ako. Okay, we will discuss the topic anti-differentiation by substitution. Okay, so under this lesson, you are expected to first compute the antiderivative of a function using substitution rule and solve problems involving anti-differentiation. Okay, now before we are going to start, let me check, let me know if my audio is loud and clear. Hello guys, can you please confirm? Is it loud and clear ba?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Now, how
Yes, sir.
about my presentation? Can you see it clearly? Okay, sige. So, as what I've said kanina, this is the second part of the lessons under integration, and that is anti-differentiation by substitution. Last meeting, we have already discussed anti-derivatives, right? So from there, you already know how to evaluate the integral of polynomial, exponential, logarithmic, and trigonometric functions, right? Okay, so those are the antiderivatives of the basic polynomial, ano nga yun ulit? Exponential, logarithmic, and trigonometric function. Okay? Now, anti-differentiation is more challenging than differentiation. Okay? By the word challenging, hindi naman ibig sabihin na mahirap talaga siya. Mahirap talaga siya. But, challenging siya in a sense na meron kayong kailangang tandaan talaga. Okay? So to find the derivative of a given function, there are well-established rules like we know the differentiation rules, the chain rule, the implicit differentiation. Okay? Well-established rule. Meron siyang, ang tawag doon, parang meron tayong pinagbabasihan na rule to evaluate the derivative of a certain function. Okay? So there are well-established rules that are always applicable to differentiable functions. Now, for anti-differentiation, the antiderivatives given in the previous lesson may not suffice to integrate a given function. Okay? Sometimes the function given is more complicated or complex than the basic one. So therefore, if that's the case, we cannot use the rules that we already discussed in our previous lesson. Okay? So meron tayong mga rules naman ngayon na kailangang tandaan. Okay? So anti-differentiation is more challenging na in this case. So a prerequisite is knowledge of the basic anti-differentiation formulas like what we have discussed last meeting. Some formulas are easily derived, but most of them need to be memorized. So in this case, I will encourage you to memorize the formulas. Kasi kailangan talaga siya ng memorization. Okay? Hindi natin siya agad-agad ma-integrate okay, unless you know the formula. So you need to memorize all the formula. But anyway, I will be providing a summary of the anti-differentiation rules or the formulas in integration. Okay? So no hard or fast rules can be given as to which method applies in a given situation. In college, several techniques such as integration by parts, partial fractions, trigonometric substitution will be introduced. But here in our level, we will focus on the most basic technique, and that is integration by substitution. So this is the basic, okay, basic anti-differentiation technique, and that is anti-differentiation by substitution or integration by substitution, which is the inverse of the chain rule in differentiation. Okay? So dito, ito yung inverse ng chain rule or magagamit rin natin dito yung concept sa implicit differentiation. Okay? So there are occasions when it is possible to perform a difficult piece of integration by first making a substitution. Okay? This has the effect of changing the variable and the integrand. So here we will be um, letting or yeah, changing the variable. So we will let a certain variable to a certain expression in the given expression. Okay? So ganun yung gagawin natin. Maglilet tayo ng isang variable. Okay? So change yung variable as well as the integrand. Okay? Now, in what do you call this one? In chain rule, di ba na discuss natin yung ano nga yung chain rule? Chain rule is just if you are going to differentiate a certain function using chain rule, you will differentiate the outside function, then multiply it by the inner function, right? So that is our rule if we're going to use the chain rule. So ganito yung itsura niya if you have the derivative of what do you call this? F of g of x, because chain rule is the derivative of composite functions, right? This is just equal to f prime of, if you can still remember, g of x, right? Times g prime of x, right? So this is the chain rule. Now, if we are going to apply this one here in our integration rules or the integration by substitution, suppose the given integral is in the form this one. See, so parang ginamit lang natin yung chain rule, the integral of f of g of x times g prime of x dx. So, nawala yung f prime. So dito parang 'di ba yung f prime is the derivative, right? So if we're going to put that one in integration integral sign natin, mawawala na yung derivative. So lowercase f na siya, 'di ba? So we have this one, our integrand is this f of g of x times g prime of x dx. So here, to transform this into another form, we will let a certain variable to a certain expression involved in our general integration integral, right? So in this case, we will let u, suppose we will let u be equal to g of x. Then it will follow that the derivative of g of x will be du over dx, because our variable of integration is x, therefore our variable of differentiation naman will be x pa rin. So we will have g prime of x equal to du over dx. And in this case, it will follow that du will be equal to, o medyo may kulang siya, du will be equal to g prime of x times dx. There should be dx here. Right? So parang nag-cross multiply lang ako dito. So there. So du will be equal to g prime of x dx. Therefore, the integral of f of g of x times g prime of x dx is equal to the integral of f of u du, because g prime of x dx will be du. So du ito. And our g of x is u. So we have u. F of u will be equal, the integral of f of g of x, g prime of x dx will be equal to the integral of f of u du. So in that case, mas lumiit yung ating integration, right? Or our integral expression. Yan. So naging isang function na siya. And in that case, naging basic function siya. So therefore, we can now apply the basic integration rules. Okay? So in this case, integration by substitution, we must identify the function that you are going to change. So dapat alam natin kung sino yung ililet u natin. Okay? So ganito yung challenge dito. You must know kung anong expression yung ililet natin ng u. Okay? But later, I will be maybe sharing some tips on how I do it, how I integrate certain functions. Okay, paano natin malalaman na dapat siya yung ililet u natin, hindi yung isa. Kasi maraming functions kayong makikita ngayon. As what I've said, medyo complex na yung mga functions na mabibigay. This technique is called integration by substitution, or other books ginamit niya is this is the u substitution. U, because we always use u as the variable na is a substitute. So sometimes it is called as the u substitution method. Okay? Am I clear, guys? Can you are you still with me? Yeah. Are you still with me, guys? Do you have any questions, clarifications regarding the theorem? Medyo marami na akong nasabi. Okay, do you have any questions, clarifications? Hmm. If there is none, can you please press 1 so that we can continue? And you can see some examples, okay, on how we are going to apply this one. Okay. Okay, thank you. So, marami nang nagwa-1. So, let's have some examples for this one. Actually, marami akong prepare na examples because in integration, actually, the tip that I can really share to you para medyo ma-master natin yung integration is through practice talaga siya. Okay, it needs practice. So, here I will be providing a lot of examples. I think umabot siya ng 20. So I hope kaya pa ng brain natin mamaya yung examples natin. Okay? So let's have number 1. Now we have here the integral of the quantity x plus 4 raised to the power of 5 dx. Okay, so in this case, if we can expand this one, so you will multiply x plus 4 5 times, okay? Then you will get the expansion. If that's the case, then you can apply the basic integration rules, right? But here we have a certain function raised to a certain number. It is not just x. If this is just x, then we can apply the power rule in integration. If you can still remember the power rule in integration, we have the integral of x to the n, right? Dx is equal to x to the n plus 1 all over n plus 1 plus c. This is the power rule in integration, right? But take note here, it should be x. But dito, we have x plus 4. So therefore, we must do something here. Okay, so we need to make this x plus 4 into one variable. So dito pa lang, malalaman na natin na dapat si x plus 4 yung iibahin natin. So that we will have an expression the same with the power rule that you know, right? So in this case, we will now let u be equal to x plus 4. So siya yung i-change natin, is a substitute. So first thing that you will do is you will let u be equal to x plus 4. I hope naka-follow kayo. Okay? Then after that, lagay natin dito yung phone so that makikita ko yung mga questions ninyo. Okay, wait for a while. Ayan. So we have that one. Now, since we let u equal to x plus 4, if we will differentiate, I'm sorry, typo. What is that? Okay. So if we will differentiate u equal to x plus 4, we know that du over dx or u prime, so we can have du over dx will be equal to what is the derivative of x plus 4, guys? Kindly write it down in the comment section. What is the derivative? Derivative, ha? I'm talking about the derivative. So what is the derivative of x plus 4? So here we differentiated u, so that is du over dx. So what is the derivative of x plus 4? Anyone? What is the derivative of x? Can you still remember derivative? Okay, so we have 1. Therefore, we have 1 here, right? So from that, we have du over dx equal to 1. So it will follow that du now will be equal to dx, right? So what I did here is I um, eliminated the denominator. So I multiplied dx both sides, right? So you already know this one. Okay? Ipapaklaro ko lang. So from that, this dx will be canceled out. So you have du equal to 1 dx or just dx. Okay? So from that, yeah, wait for a while. From the integral of x plus 4 raised to the power of 5 dx, this will now be equal to the integral of, take note, x plus 4 became u. We already substituted um, u to x plus 4. So from x plus 4, magiging u yan. So we have u, then power of 5 to the power of 5. Then dx is now equal to du. So we have du. There. So from x plus 4 raised to the power of 5 dx, we now have u to the power of 5 du. So the integral of u to the power of 5 du, then we can now apply the chain rule, right? The basic chain rule in integration. So what is now the integral of this expression? Kindly write it down in the comment section. What is now the integral of this expression? So again, the chain rule for integration, we have the integral of x to the n, dx is equal to x to the n plus 1 all over n plus 1 plus c. So in this case, what is your n? We have 5. And your x is u. So this will become u to the power of 5 plus 1 over 5 plus 1 plus c. Right? And you still follow? So we now have u to the power of 5 plus 1 over 5 plus 1 plus c. And this is now equal to u to the power of 6 over 6 plus c. This is not yet the final answer because the given expression is in terms of x. Therefore, we will rewrite the final answer in terms of x also. So itong u, dapat i-change nyo yan into an expression in terms of x. And we know that u is equal to x plus 4. Therefore, this is now equal to x plus 4 raised to the power of 6 all over 6 plus c. And this is now our final answer. I hope naka-follow tayo. Do you have any questions, clarifications for this one? Hello. Do you have any questions? Clarifications, guys? None siguro, sir. Oh, Ara is already here. Okay, sige. So you take note, ha? Next. Number 2, we have the integral of 3x plus 1. Okay, to the power of 15 dx. Okay, so 3x plus 1, quantity raised to the power of 15 dx. What do you think is the expression that we need to substitute here? We have 3x plus 1 to the power of 15. So what do you think? Kindly write it down in the comment section. Ano yung dapat nating i-substitute? Si 3x plus 1. Very good. So that we can have a variable raised to 15. Okay? So ganun lang. I hope nakukuha niyo na siya. So from that, excuse me, we now have let u be equal to 3x plus 1. Okay. Now, if we are going to, excuse me, if we are going to differentiate this one, we will now have du over dx is equal to what is the derivative of 3x plus 1? Who can give me the derivative of 3x plus 1? 3. Very good. So we have equal to 3. And from that, we will now have du is equal to 3 dx. Okay? Or we have du over 3 is equal to dx. Now, sir, bakit mo ginawang from du equal to 3 dx, ginawa mong du over 3 equal to dx? Because here we only need dx. Okay? So therefore, we need to eliminate 3. So we will divide both sides by 3. Okay? So from that, we will now have the integral of 3x plus 1 to the power of 15 dx will now be equal to the integral of 3x plus 1. We let that 1 as u. So we have u to the power of 15. And dx is now equal to du over 3. So we now have here du over 3. Right? I hope you get it or you can still follow. Okay? So from that, we now have du over 3. We know that we have a numerical coefficient 1/3. So we can actually put that numerical coefficient outside the integral sign. So we now have 1/3 integral of u to the power of 15 du. And from that, you can now integrate, right? So we now have here, okay, 1/3 times the integral of u to the power of 15 is just u to the power of 15 plus 1. Pwedeng diretso tayo. You have u to the power of 16 over 16. Then you have plus c. Okay? And this is now equal to u to the power of 16 all over 3 times 16 is just 48 plus c. And we need to again write the final answer in terms of the given variable, which is x. So we now have here, u is just 3x plus 1. So you have 3x plus 1 to the power of 16 over 48 plus c. And this is now our final answer. I hope you can still follow. Okay? Any questions, guys? Clarifications? Do you have any questions or clarifications for number 2? None po. Okay, so very good. Now, later, instead of having du, the derivative of du equal to du over dx, and the derivative of yung mga terms here yung expressions here in terms of x is yung derivative, gagawin natin siyang derivative of u will be du. Okay lang ba? Then the derivative of the terms here in terms of x will be the derivative times dx. Kasi mamaya, i-multiply naman natin parati yung dx sa kabila. Right? So, du, then dx ka sa right side. Okay lang ba? Para diretso tayo mamaya. Okay, so let's have number 3. Ayan, so number 3, medyo marami na siya. 'Di ba? Medyo, paano to? Okay? But anyway, madali lang yan. Okay? So we have the expression x to the power of 5 plus 2 raised to the power of 9 times 5x to the power of 4 dx. Now, in this case, we can have two options kung sino yung dapat nating ililet u. Okay? So we have two options here kung sino yung dapat nating ile-let you. Now, ganito yung tip ko. Yung iu ninyo will be the function that is if you are going to differentiate that one, lalabas yung isang function. So therefore, we now have two options, si x to the power of 5 plus 2 at si 5x to the power of 4. Now, sino yung ngayon yung ililet you natin? Dapat yung malilet you natin will give a derivative that is almost the same. Not really equal, but almost the same so that we can still manipulate the given function. Almost the same with the other remaining expression. So, sino kaya yung dapat nating ile-let you? Is it 5x to the power of 4? Now, if you are going to differentiate 5x to the power of 4, the answer is 20x cubed, right? May nakikita ba tayong 20x cubed dito? Or anything with x cubed? Okay? Kasi yung constant medyo okay lang siyang hindi na masama. Kasi pwede naman yang ma-divide or ma-multiply or whatever. Okay? So therefore, 5x to the power of 4, take note, the derivative is 20x cubed. At wala tayong nakikitang expression na may x cubed. However, if we have x to the power of 5 plus 2, if you will differentiate that one, the answer is 5x to the power of 4. And do we have 5x to the power of 4? Yes or no? Yes. So therefore, in that case, the best choice na ililet you natin, and actually siya lang yung pwede nating ilet you, will be x to the power of 5 plus 2. Kasi lalabas yung derivative na 5x to the power of 4. Okay, so ganun yung kailangan nating gawin. Okay, so you must identify kung sino yung pwede nating ilet you. Dapat si u will give a derivative almost the same with the other expression. Okay, so take note of that. So first, we will let u be equal to x to the power of 5 plus 2 there. Then, again, what is the derivative of u? We will have du. Okay, du na lang ha. Then what is the derivative of x to the power of 5 plus 2? We have 5x to the power of 4 dx. Okay? So therefore, lumabas ngayon si 5x to the power of 4 dx. And it is now equal to du. So meaning, lumiit yung ating expression. Okay? So later, medyo madali na siyang i-integrate. Okay? So since we already have 5x to the power of 4 dx, wag nyo na siyang i-change kasi lumabas na siya. Okay? So du na lang siya as is. But if hindi siya 5x to the power of 4 dx, then you will do something like you will multiply a certain constant or whatever. Okay? So we will now have the integral. Ang pangit ng integral ko. We have x to the power of 5 plus 2 to the power of 9. Then you have 5x to the power of 4 dx is now equal to the integral of, we let u be equal to x to the power of 2. So we have u to the power of 9. Okay? I hope naka-follow. X to the power of 5 plus 2 is now equal to u. So we have u to the power of 9. And 5x to the power of 4 dx is now equal to du. So we have du. So lumiit talaga siya. It became u to the power of 9 du. And from that, we can now easily integrate this one. And what is the integral? Can you please write it down in the comment section? What is the integral of u to the power of 9 du? Okay, so what will be the integral, guys? Ano nga yung gagawin natin? We will just raise the exponent by 1. And whatever the exponent will be the denominator. Yeah, so we have u to the power of 10 over 10. Diretso na tayo ha. U to the power of 10 over 10 plus C. Is this the final answer? Excuse me. Is this the final answer? Yes or no? No po. Because we need to express that one in terms of x. And we know that u is equal to x to the power of 5 plus 2. So we will now have x to the power of 5 plus 2 raised to the power of 10 over 10 plus c. And this is now our final answer. Okay? Okay ba tayo? Are we all good? Do you have any questions? Okay, naka-follow pa so far. Now, let's try number 4. Ito, medyo marami talaga siya. My God. Pero, madali lang yan. Okay? So, we have the integral of the quantity x, 8x cubed plus 2x squared minus 1 raised to the power of 7 times the quantity x, 6x squared plus x. Then, we have with respect to x. Okay, so what do you think is the expression that you need to substitute? Is it the first one, yung 8x cubed plus 2x squared? Where is, yeah. Okay. Oh my God, anong nangyayari sa akin? Hinahanap ko yung phone ko, nandito lang pala sa harapan. Anyway, first po. Okay, so let's try. Okay, pag hindi, ganito kasi yung mangyayari. For students na medyo beginner pa nito, magta-trial and error tayo. What if this is the expression that I'm going to substitute? What will be the result? What if itong isa, ano yung mangyayari? So, if hindi kayo sure, you do trial and error. There's no, hindi naman siya masama if we're going to have trial and error. 'Di ba? So, here, sabi ni Ara, let's try the first one. Sige, let's try the first one. We have let u be equal to 8x cubed plus 2x squared minus 1. Now, let's try to differentiate. Then u is now equal to du. Okay, the derivative of u is du. The derivative of 8x cubed. What is the derivative? Kindly write it down in the comment section. 24x squared plus 4x. Then we have dx. Now, in this case, may nakikita ba tayong 24x squared plus 4x? May nakikita kayong 24x squared plus 4x? Wala. Wala siya. But, take note, 24x squared plus 4x, you can express that one in terms of 6x squared plus x. Right? Anong gagawin nyo para maging 6x squared plus x siya? Pwede yan. Factor. What will be the factor? 4, right? So we will factor out 4. In that case, you will have, so from here we have, du is equal to 4 times the quantity 6x squared plus, 4x na noon, plus x. Ayun. 6x squared plus x, then we have dx. Now, take note, we only need 6x squared plus x dx. Right? Therefore, dapat nating tanggalin si 4. So, in that case, we will just divide both sides by 4. You will have du over 4. So, ito yung sinasabi kong okay lang if yung numerical coefficient lang yung medyo may problema because we can manipulate it. Okay, so you can factor, you can multiply, or whatnot. Okay, so we will now have this 6x squared plus x dx. Okay? So that's it. So nakakita tayo ng 6x squared plus x dx. Right? So from that, we will now have the integral. Saan po? Dito na lang. Integral of 8x cubed. Sulat ko muna ha. Minus 1 to the power of 7. Then we have 6x squared plus x dx. This is now equal to dx. The integral of 8x cubed plus 2x squared minus 1, we let that one as u. So we have u to the power of 7. 6x squared plus x dx is now equal to du over 4. So we have du over 4. And from that, we can factor out 1/4, right? So labas natin si 1/4. Then we have the integral of u to the power of 7 du. And what is the integral of u to the power of 7? That is just 1/4 times u to the power of 8 over 8 plus c, right? And this is now equal to, simplify lang natin, cu is 8x cubed plus 2x plus 4, 2x squared minus 1. Anong nangyari? Saan ko yung nakuha si plus 4? So we have 8x cubed plus 2x squared minus 1 to the power of 8. So, ayun. Then 4 times 8 is 32 plus c. And this is now our final answer. Are we all good? Can you still follow? Okay. Ayan. Very good, very good. Okay. Good pa tayo, no? Sige. So, let's try another one. Marami to. As what I've said, marami talaga siya. Umabot siya ng 20. Okay? Okay. So, tingnan natin if hindi nyo pa ma-master ito. Okay? Marami talaga siyang examples. So, let's try the integral of z squared all over the square root of 1 plus z cubed dz. Ayan. Okay? By the way, nakalimutan kong sabihin, whenever you have a constant, like this one plus z cubed, kasi kay z cubed, makukuha nyo na agad yung 3z squared, right? But if you have a constant, isali nyo na siya agad sa u. Okay? Para hindi na kayo mahirapan. Kasi derivative ng constant will always be 0. So, hindi siya makaka-apekto ng malaki sa ating, what do you call this, expression. Okay? So, let's try number 5. What do you think is the expression that we need to let u, or we need to substitute to u? To u? What do you think? Is it z squared or 1 plus z cubed? Dapat pag let natin siya, lalabas yung isa pag i-differentiate. So is it z squared or 1 plus z cubed? Or what if yung square root mismo, square root of 1 plus z cubed? Makakakuha ba tayo ng answer doon? What do you think, guys? Okay, so it should be, okay. Try natin si square root ha. If I'm going to let u, trial and error muna tayo. Let's try. U be equal to square root of 1 plus z cube. Ayan. Okay. Then, this one is just 1 plus z cube to the power of 1/2. Right? Now, in that case, we can differentiate now. This is just equal to du times 1/2. And we have, this is um, 1 plus z cube to the power of negative 1/2. Chain rule ito. Times the inner function derivative, that is 3z squared. Right? Okay. Now, from that, we now have, this is du equal to 3/2. Okay. Wait lang. 3z squared. Pwede kong idiretso. Trial and error pa naman to, di ba? We have 3z squared over 2. Ibababa ko na tong square, negative 1/2. And that is square root of 1 plus z cubed. Ayun, almost the same, di ba? Then we have dz. May dz pa pala dapat dito. Okay? Now, almost the same siya dito. Pwede nating ilabas agad si 3/2. Right? So we can have 2/3 du is equal to z squared over square root of 1 plus z cubed dz. Okay? So from that, um, we now have z squared over square root of 1 plus z cubed dz. And this is just equal to, so from here, nakikita na natin agad ito, okay? Using if we let u be equal to the square root of 1 plus z cubed. And this one here is now all equal to the 2/3 du. Okay? So therefore, from that, we can have this as the integral of 2/3 du. Okay lang ba? Can you still follow? Okay. Now from that, we now have 2/3 integral of u. No, du pala. Integral of du. Right? And what is the integral of du, guys? 1 du yan. Integral of 1 du. Ano nga yung integral ng 1 du? That is the first theorem. Hello? Are you still there? What is the integral of du? What is the integral of dx? Hello? Hello guys, am I still du squared over 2? Wala tayong u dyan. 1 yung number dito. 1 du. Ano ba yung function na may derivative na 1? X. Di ba x? Di ba the integral of dx is equal to x plus c, if you can still remember. Okay, that is the first theorem. Okay, so therefore, integral of du will be u. So we have 2/3 u, 2/3 u plus c. Okay, and what is our u? That is just equal to 2/3 square root of 1 plus z cubed plus c. Okay, now let's compare it. So we have an answer here. Let's compare it if I'm going to let u be equal to 1 plus z cubed. What if ito yung gagamitin ko instead of this one here? Dito, square root yung kinuha natin. What if hindi ko isasama si square root? The same kaya yung makukuha nating answer? So that will be the question. Okay, wait lang ha. Bakit? Na, na exit kasi yung, what do you call this? Yung meet. Okay, so let's check if we will have the same answer. What if I will let u be equal to 1 plus z cubed? Okay, so this will now be equal to du equal to 3 z squared dz. Can you still follow? Can you still follow, guys? Okay ba? Ano pa nangyari? Hindi ko na babasa. Yeah. So we have 3z squared dz. Okay. So in that case, we just need z squared dz. Di ba si dz pwede ko siyang ilagay dyan sa taas? Kasi numerator naman yan, over 1 yan. Di ba? So z squared dz dapat yung kailangan ko. Therefore, I will eliminate 3. So in that case, you will have du over 3 is equal to z squared dz. Ayon. Okay? So lumabas na ngayon si z squared dz. So therefore, from here, ang pwede ko siyang i-erase. Erase ko na lang muna ha kasi walang space. Okay ba? Can you please take a screenshot of this one? Take ng screenshot for number 5 kasi erase ko siya. Okay? Before that, do you have any questions sa first solution natin? This is the first solution. Do you have any question? Ko answer. O sige, sige. Unsa man, Nico. You can unmute your mic para mas dali. Nawala lagi ang 1/2. Sa unsa? Can you please unmute your mic,
Ay,
Nico?
sir, ang kanang du, sir, ba? Nawala lagi 1/2. Kanang du equals 1/2.
Kani.
Diha.
Dire. Pag abot sa abos na wala.
Oo.
Kani nga 1/2 yung pasabot.
Oo, sir.
1/2 times 3. Pila? 3 halves. Nara, 3 halves.
Okay. Ang kanang two-thirds sa two-thirds du, sir. Manang
Hapoting
3
ikan.
halves, sir. Manang 3 halves
Oo,
kay reciprocal.
gi-multiply man nato o reciprocal kay para
Ah,
mawala si 3 halves.
sige,
'Di
sir.
ba?
Mara, sir.
What else? Okay ra. Nagets na. Sige, ako siyang i-erase ha. Kay para natay space sa solution. Kay medyo kailangan kong space. Yata. Yata. Okay, let's try. Di ko pa kasi natatry na ma-solve ito. Sige, anyway. Erase ko na ha. So we have, ano nga yung ginawa natin? We let u be equal to 1 plus z cubed. So we have du equal to 3z squared dz. I hope naka-follow mo diri ha. Then we need only z squared dz and that is equal to du over 3 z squared dz. So from that, from here, from our given integral, we will now have the integral of z squared. Pwedeng ilagay ko na sa taas si dz para makita ninyo. Okay? Over the square root of 1 plus z cubed. Ayan. This is now equal to du over 3 over square root of u, right? Z squared dz is du over 3 and 1 plus z cubed is u. So we have square root of u. Tama? Now simplifying, this will now be equal to du over 3. Square root of u is just u to the 1/2. Right? Okay lang ba? Can you still follow? I am dividing fractions here. 'Di ba? If you have du over 3, divide by square root of u, that is du over 3 times the reciprocal of square root of u. Square root of u is u to the 1/2. What is the reciprocal of u to the 1/2? That is just 1 over u to the 1/2. So you have du over 3 u to the 1/2. Okay ba? Now from that, we have 1/3 here. We can actually factor out 1/3. So we have 1/3. The integral of du over u to the 1/2. Ayan. Now take note, we don't have a theorem if we have an expression sa baba. Tama? So we need to change this one into a negative exponent para tumaas siya. Tama? So we will have 1/3 integral of u to the negative 1/2 du. Okay? So from that, we can actually solve na this one using the chain rule. So we have 1/3. What is the integral of u to the negative 1/2? We will just add 1, right? So u to the negative 1/2 plus 1 over negative 1/2 plus 1. Then you have plus c. Okay? And from that, we will have 1/3 times u to the negative 1/2 plus 1 is u to the 1/2. So you have u to the 1/2 over 1/2 plus c. Okay? Now simplifying, this is just equal to 1 times u to the 1/2 is u to the 1/2 over 3 times 1 half is 3 halves plus c. Now, dividing fractions. So you have u to the 1 half times the reciprocal of 3 halves. So that is 2/3. This is now equal to u to the 1 half. Wrong. Wait lang. So this will now be equal to u to the 1 half times the reciprocal of 3 halves. That is 2/3. So you have 2 u to the 1 half over 3 plus c. Okay ba? Kinuha lang natin yung reciprocal ha, dividing fractions. So this is now equal to 2/3 times u to the 1 half. What is u? You have 1 plus z cubed. So 1 plus z cubed to the 1 half is just square root of 1 plus z cubed plus c. Did we arrive with the same answer kanina? The
Yes,
same
sir.
answer
Maura.
ba?
Maura.
Yes. So the same answer. So therefore, in this case, you can let u be 1 plus z cubed, or you can let u as the square root of 1 plus z cubed. There's no problem. As long as you will get something na ma-simplify talaga siya. Okay, so you have two alternatives, ano tawag ito? Alternative solutions for number 5. Okay? I hope that gets nyo na siya. Now, how about number 6? You try this one. You try this. What would be our u? Ano kaya yung u natin? Para actually, in my case, sometimes, kung ako yung nag-solve sa number 5, madali lang yung ano, no, yung may square root kasi maliit lang yung solution. But, para iwas mistake, kasi sometimes nakakalimutan natin yung chain rule, di ba? So, para hindi siya maging mistake, yung chain rule, sometimes yung ginagawa ko, yung second solution yung gagamitin ko. Like this one, u equal to 1 plus z cube. Okay? Para safe. But if master talaga kayo, master na, walang problema. Pwede yung first one. And shortcut yun, mas madali. Okay? Sige. Number 6, let's try na lang na si 50 minus 5x cube yung ating what do you call this? I-let u. Okay ba? So for number 6, we will let u be equal to 50 minus 5x cubed. Okay? So du will now be equal to, what is the derivative, guys? What is the derivative?
15x squared. Ay,
Is it positive or negative?
negative ng oras, sir.
Huh? Derivative of 50 is 0 minus. Derivative of 5x cubed is 15x squared, but you have minus, so negative.
Ano?
Right? Negative 15x squared. Are you still there, guys? Ayun. Tama. Now, what do we need? Dx pala. Don't forget dx ha, para makita nyo yung kailangan nating i-substitute. We only need x squared dx. Tama? X squared dx. Nandiyan na siya. So, we need to divide both sides by negative 15. So, we will now have negative du over 15 equal to x squared dx. I hope you can still follow. So, nag-divide lang ako ng negative 15 ha. So, tinaas ko yung negative. Bakit? Kasi na nasa denominator siya. Okay? So, therefore, from that, we will now have the integral of, we can rewrite this as x squared dx all over square root of 50 minus 5x to the power of 4. 3 pala, sorry. Power of 3 pala dapat. Power of 3. Now, from that, we now have the integral of x squared dx is just negative du over 15. So we have negative du over 15 divided by square root of 50 minus 5x cubed is just your u. Ayan. Okay? And this is now equal to the integral of negative du over 15 square root of u. The same ito dito. Okay? Sa kabila. Ayan. Okay? Square root of u is just u to the 1/2, but we can factor out negative 1 over 15, right? So we have negative 1 over 15 integral of du over u to the 1/2. Okay? And we can have it as negative 1 over 15 integral of u to the negative 1/2, right? Du. Okay? So the same pa rin yung integral niya dito. So medyo madadalian tayo. So we have negative 1 over 15. Diretso tayo. Okay lang? So this is u to the 1/2 over 1/2, right? Then we have plus c. Nandito siya, oh. The same lang kasi integral of u to the negative 1/2. Okay? And from that, we now have, sumpay ta dire. This is, ano nga yun? Negative of 2 over 15. Diretso na, okay lang. Reciprocal nyo lang ha. 2 over 15, then u to the 1/2 plus c. And what is u? We have negative 2 over 15. U is 50 minus 5x cubed to the 1/2 plus c. Ayan. You can have this as your final answer or pwede nyong i-square root yung 1/2. Or we can have negative 2 over 15 square root of 50 minus 5x cubed plus c. Okay, so the same lang yung dalawa. Any questions? Do you have any questions? Sir, nawala ko na unsa ano nga yun? Wait lang ha, hindi ko siya nababasa. Pagka 2 over 15, gani, dire. 1 over 15, di ba? 1 times u to the 1/2, may mo man na siya u to the 1/2 over 15 times 1/2, you have 15 over 2. Di ba? Now, dividing fraction, this will become negative, negative. Negative of u to the 1/2 times the reciprocal of the denominator 2 over 15. So we have negative 2 over 15 u to the 1/2. Okay ra? Are we good? Maura pud ang nahitabo diri sa pikas. Dividing fractions lang yan. Okay? Are we all good? How about yung iba? Do you have questions? Do you have questions? Clarifications? Okay lang ba tayo? Are we still good? Okay. Now, let's have number 7. If walang question. Ayan. Now, we have dx over, hindi yan x cube ha, but x, then times cube root of ln x. So, what do you think is the expression that we need to change or substitute by u? Ano kaya? Let. Ano kaya ang i-let u natin? What do you think? LNX? Why LNX, Ara? You can unmute your mic. Why do you think LNX? What is the derivative of LNX? What is the derivative of LNX? 1 over x. Do we have 1 over x here? Di ba there is an imaginary 1 here? Right? May imaginary 1 yan. So 1 over x sa baba. So therefore, we have 1 over x. So in that case, if we will differentiate ln x, lalabas si 1 over x. So therefore, we will let ln x be equal to u. Tama yun. Okay? So tama siya. So we will let u be equal to ln x because we know the derivative of ln x is 1 over x. Okay? Therefore, the derivative of u is du equal to derivative of ln x. It will be 1 over x dx. Okay? Or this is just du equal to dx over x, which is this one. Okay? So, meron na tayong dx over x. So, from that, we now have the integral. Ang pangit ng integral ko. Ayokong mag-solve ng ganyan yung integral. Napaka-OC. Anyway, so we have the integral of um, dx over x cube root of ln x. So we have the integral of dx over x is just du. Okay? So nasa numerator na siya. So we have du over cube root of what is ln x? We have u. So ganun yung nangyari. Now, what is cube root of u? That is just u to the 1/3, right? And we need to put that in the numerator. So we will change the exponent to negative, right? So this is just equal to the integral of u to the negative 1/3 du. Okay lang ba? Didiretso na ako. Okay lang? Can you still follow? Okay. So this is now equal to u to the negative 1/3, 1/3 plus 1 over negative 1/3 plus 1 plus c, right? And this is now equal to u to the negative 1/3 plus 1 is 2/3 over 2/3 plus c. Now, kunin ninyo yung reciprocal ng 2/3. So, pupunta sa taas si 3. So, you have 3 over 2 u to the 2/3 plus c, or this is just equal to 3/2. U is ln x to the 2/3 plus c. And this is now our final answer. Are we good? Any questions, guys? Okay lang ba? Do you have questions? None for me. Ox pa, sir. Okay, sige. Actually, no, yung nababasa ko lang na mga comments are from Nico, Christy, Ara, Lian. Nasaan yung iba? Are you still there? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Sige. Okay, galaw-galaw naman dyan. Galaw-galaw, galaw-galaw. Okay. Sige, galaw-galaw kayo, galaw-galaw. Okay. Sige, we will have a, kasi medyo marami na siya. We will have a maybe 5 minutes break. Water break muna tayo. Sige. Then stretch kayo. Stretch. Okay? So let's have a 5 minute break. Then you drink water para dehydrated tayo. Hydrated. Dehydrated. Very wrong. Okay? So hydrated dapat tayo yon. Okay? So inom kayo ng tubig, then stretch. Kasi marami-rami na tayong na-solve. Yeah, masakit siya sa likod. And actually, masakit yung likod ko kasi ako yung nagsusolve. Anyway, sige, inom muna tayo ng tubig. Inom rin ako ng water. Okay? Sige. Kumaya na yung number. Okay, it's already 5 minutes. Are we all good na ba? Kindly press 1 if you are good. Ayun. Okay, so let's continue. Okay ba? So for number 8, we have the integral of e raised to 3x with respect to x. So what do you think is the expression that we need to substitute? So our goal is para we can integrate this one, we must express this one in terms of um, something that we know or sa a formula in integration na alam natin. And we have here e raised to 3x. What we know about the integral of exponential function is that the integral of e raised to x dx is equal to e raised to x plus c, right? So therefore, c exponent natin should be x, right? Now in this case, we have 3x. So we need to change this one. So siya yung ililet natin ngayon ng u. Okay? So we let u be equal to 3x. So therefore, we will have du equal to 3dx. Okay? Are we good? Now, take note, we only need dx here kasi walang katabi si dx dyan. So therefore, we will divide both sides by 3. So we have du over 3 is equal to dx. Right? So from that, from integral of e raised to 3x dx, we will have the integral of e raised to 3x is now u. So e raised to u. And dx will be du over 3. Okay? And from that, we will now have 1/3 can be put outside. So we have 1/3 integral of e raised to u du. And from that, we now have the integral because we know that the integral of e raised to x dx is e raised to x plus c. So therefore, the integral of e raised to u du will be u plus c, right? So we will have 1/3 e raised to u plus c. Is this our final answer? Yes or no? No. We need to change u to 3x. So we have 1/3 e raised to 3x plus c. And this is now our final answer. Are we good? Do you have questions for this one? Do you have questions? If there is, then kindly press 8. Ayan. Very good. Now, let's have another example. Ayun. Medyo hirapan natin siya ng medyo light lang. Okay. So we have the integral of e raised to negative 9z plus 1. What do we need to substitute? Oh, what expression are we going to let u? Sino dapat yung ile-let u natin for number 9? What do you think, guys? Negative 9z plus 1. Very good. So we have negative 9z plus 1 so that maging e raised to 1 variable na lang siya. Okay? So we have negative 9z plus 1. Therefore, this will become du equal to the derivative of negative 9z plus 1 is negative 9 dz. Now, in this case, we just need dz kasi wala siyang ibang kasama, right? So we will divide both sides by negative 9. So you have negative du over 9 is equal to dz, right? So from that, we now have the integral of e raised to negative 9z plus 1 is now equal to u. Then dz is now equal to negative du over 9. Okay? From that, we can keep negative 1 over 9 outside the integral sign. So we have negative 1 over 9 integral of eu du, e raised to u du. And that is negative 1 over 9 e raised to u plus c. And we change the exponent. We have negative 1 over 9 e raised to negative 9z plus 1 plus c. And this is now our final answer. Medyo madali lang siya, no? Do you have questions? If none, you can press 9. Ayan. Okay, so nakikinig pa naman kayo. Very good, very good, very good. How about number 10? Ayan, tingnan nyo si number 10. What do we need to let u? Ano ba ang kailangan nating i-let u dito? So you have x times 2 raised to x squared minus 4 dx. Ano ang dapat nating i-let u? Take note, iba si x, iba si 2 raised to x squared minus 4 because 2 raised to x squared minus 4 is an exponential function. The base is 2. Okay? So what do we need to substitute by u? Sino yung ililet u natin dito? What do you think, guys? Si x squared minus 4. Yeah, because we know the integral of 2 raised to something, right? So, dapat ganun yung matira. So, you have u is equal to x squared minus 4. This case, we have du equal to 2x dx, right? But we only need x dx. Tama? Hindi si 2 dito ha, hindi siya pwedeng i-multiply sa x. Ibang function si 2 raised to x squared minus 4. Hindi siya numerical coefficient of x. Okay, so we just need x and dx. Therefore, we need to eliminate 2, so we have to divide it by 2. Okay? So we have d over 2 equal to dx dx. Okay? So from that, we will now have the integral of x dx is now d over 2. So wag nyo nang ilagay si x. Si 2 na lang. 2 raised to x squared minus 4 is u. Then x dx will be du over 2. Now, baka yung iba ika-cancel si 2 ha. Hindi pwede. 2 here is a base of an exponential function. Okay, so hindi siya pwedeng what do you call this? Ano nga yun? Cancel. Okay? So, hindi pwede ha. Hindi talaga pwede. Okay? So, from that, we can factor out 1/2. We have 1/2. So, 1/2 is here, yung d over 2. Then, we have integral of 2 raised to u du. Ano ba yung integral of a raised to x dx? Sino dito yung nag-watch na ng video lesson? If you watch the video lesson, you will know the integral of a raised to x dx. What is the integral? Anyone? What is the integral of a raised to x dx? A raised to x ln a. Uh, or over? Ano ba talaga? Is it over or multiply natin ng ln a? Is it over or multiplied by ln a? I think the integral, the derivative of a raised to x is a raised to x ln a, divided by ln a. So, i-divide natin pag derivative. But if we are going to take the integral, so that will become multiplication na. Tama? So, we have a raised to x ln a. I think this is the integral. Am I right? Tama ba? Who can confirm? Is this right, guys? What is the integral of a raised to x dx? Is it a raised to x ln a or a raised to x over ln a? Hello? What is the integral of a raised to x? Divide pala. So, mali ako, mali ako. Ano ba yan, sir? Hindi ka nag-memorize. Very wrong. Sorry. Tao lang po. So, this is a raised to x over ln a. Divide the I. Okay, so from that, we now have this one. Our a is 2. Our x is u. So, we have 1/2 times um 2 raised to u over ln 2. Okay? Then we have plus c. So we now have 2 raised to u over 2 ln of 2 plus c. Or just, we have 2 raised to u is x squared minus 4 over 2 ln of 2 plus c. And this is now our final answer. Any questions? If you have questions, you may unmute your mic para mas ma-address natin agad-agad. Who has questions? Gets na ba? Are we all good? Okay, walang question, I think. Kerira, nasa video. Okay. Sige, let's have another one. Marami siya, no? Sige lang, malapit na tayong matapos. We have the integral of 1 over 2x plus 1 dx. We don't have a rule if yung nasa baba is a polynomial function. But if x lang siya, then we can integrate that one because we know the integral of 1 over x is ln x, absolute value of x. Right? Tama na ba yung naaalala ko? Yeah, I think. So, therefore, in that case, what do you think yung ililet you natin? Sino yung ililet you? So, dapat maging isang variable lang yung nasa baba, yung denominator, para magamit natin si ln. Right? So, therefore, we will let u be equal to what? 2x minus 1. Very good. So, we have 2x minus 1. And from that, we have du equal to, the derivative is 2 dx. But we only need dx. Huwag niyong pakialaman si 2 dito ha. Hindi siya, take note, hindi siya, what you call this? Like, one factor of x minus 1. Hindi siya pwede. Only for x lang yan. And we already let that one as u. Okay? So, walang 2 dyan sa baba dapat. So, we will divide 2 both sides. So, you have du over 2 equal to dx. Okay? So, walang partner si dx dito. Okay? Wala siyang 2. Okay? So, from that, we will now have, from here, integral of 1 over 2x minus 1 magiging 1 over, this is 2x minus 1 is now u, okay, times dx is now du over 2, right? And from that, we can actually put 1/2 outside the integral sign. So you have du over u. What is again the integral of du over u, or 1 over u du? What is again the integral of du over u? Sinabi ko siya kanina. So what is the integral, guys? Ng 1 over u du or du over u? Hello, may delay ba diyan? May delay ba? Kasi medyo wala pang sumasagot. Hello? What is the integral of du over u? Ano yan? Wait. Um, du? Is it du to the power of 1 over 1? Ano nga yung integral? Hala, u? Sinabi ko kanina. What is the derivative of ln? Ln x. Di ba that is 1 over x? Therefore, the integral of 1 over x is ln x. So, the integral of du over u or 1 over u du is ln u. But we will put absolute value. So, we have ln absolute value of u. Okay? Plus c. Okay. Now, from that, we now have 1 half. Ln of u is 2x minus 1. So 2x minus 1 plus c. This is now our final answer. Are we good? Okay lang ba tayo? Any questions? Again. Okay. So, again ha. So, nag-let u tayo ng 2x minus 1. So, we will have u equal to 2x minus 1. It will follow that du is equal to 2 dx. Right? So, in that case, since we only need dx here, wala naman siyang 2 sa taas. So, we will divide both sides by 2. You have du over 2 equal to dx. So, substitute na natin siya. We have the integral of 1 over 2x minus 1 is u times dx is now du over 2. So, you have du over 2 here. Okay? Next, si 1 half. Itong d over 2, may 1 half yan. You can put that 1 outside. So, 1 half times the integral of du over u. Again, the integral of 1 over x dx or just dx over x is equal to ln x plus c. Please take note of this one. Okay? Therefore, the integral of du over u is ln absolute value of u. And what is the absolute value of u? You have absolute value of 2x minus 1. Then you have plus c. Is that clear now? Okay. Sige. Now, for number 12, ano yung ililet u natin dito? Almost the same lang naman siya ng number 11. What do we need to let u? Sino yung ililet u natin? We have 3x plus 7. Yeah, you're right. Then, it will follow that du will be equal to 3dx, right? Now, as you can see, wala namang 3 sa taas. Walang katabi si dx, so we will just divide both sides by 3. Okay, so we have du over 3 equal to dx. So, from that, we will now have the integral of um integral of dx is now du over 3. So we have du over 3 over 3x plus 7 is just u, right? So yung du over 3 may 1/3 yan. So we can put 1/3 outside. So keep natin siya outside the integral sign. So matitira will be du over u na lang. And integral of du over u again is just ln of absolute value of u. So we have 1/3 ln absolute value of u plus c. And our u is just 3x plus 7. Then we have plus c. Okay,
Sir,
are we good?
one
Yes.
third na sir, one half.
1/3. 1/3. Yeah. Okay. Any questions? Okay lang? None for me.
Okay, sana all. None. None. Okay, none, none. Now, I think this is for the last one. For the, ano pala, mga trigonometric functions. Okay? So we have to evaluate the integral of cosine 4x plus 3dx. Ayan. Now take note, we only know the integral of cosine, right? Cosine x. What is the integral of cosine x? Sige daw. Sino yung nanood ng video? What is the integral of cosine x? What is the integral of cosine x? Okay, it's sine x plus c. Yeah. Okay. Now, we only need x for our argument here, but we have 4x plus 3, so we need to change this one. Okay? So first, we will let u be equal to 4x plus 3. Ayan. Then it will follow that du is just 4 dx. And since walang katabi si dx lang yung kailangan natin, so we will divide both sides by 4. So we have du over 4 equal to dx, right? And from that, we now have this one is equal to the integral of cosine u. Then dx is just, ano nga yun si dx? Du over 4. Ayan. Okay? And si 1/4, pwede nating ilagay sa labas. We have 1/4, the integral of cosine u du. The integral of cosine x dx is sine x dx. Dx, sine x plus c. Therefore, the integral of cosine u will be sine u, right? Plus c. And this is now equal to 1/4. U is just 4x plus 3. Then we have plus c. Yan. Any questions? Clarifications? Do you have questions for number 13? None. Unsay negative cosine? Nico. Unsa man na? Okay. Sige. Namali pa jud. Late pa. Mali pa jud. Okay. Okay, so let's have number 14. We have the integral of sine x cosine x dx. Sine x cosine x dx. So, may dalawa tayong pagpipilian. It's either sine or cosine, right? Now, in this case, sino yung ililet u natin? Is it sine or cosine? Dapat mm, yung derivative ng makukuha natin is in terms of the other, 'di ba? So, what do you think? Si cosine, sir. Si cosine kasi yung ano bang derivative ni cosine? What is the derivative of cosine? Derivative ng cosine is sine x. Derivative ha, I'm talking about derivative, not integral. So, it's negative sine x. Sige, let u natin si cosine. Let u, ito yung madalas na mistake kasi ng mga students, yung integral at derivative ni sine at cosine kasi magkakabaliktad lang yung mga signs nila. Okay, so please do not mix the derivative and the integral kasi malilito kayo. Okay? So i-memorize nyo talaga yung mga formula. So let suppose si cosine na lang. Sabi niyo cosine, di ba? Cosine x. So therefore, du will be equal to the derivative of cosine is negative sine x dx. Right? But we only need sine x dx. We have negative, therefore, lagay natin yung negative sa kabila. We have negative du will be equal to sine x dx. Ayan. So from that, we will now have the integral of um, sine x dx is just negative du. So we have negative there. And cosine is just u. Then we have du. Okay? Tama? U is cosine. So this is u. Then sine x dx is negative du. Negative du. Okay? So what is the integral? Pwede natin ilabas si negative. You have integral of u du. So we can apply the what do you call this? Chain rule. So you have negative of u squared over 2. Diretso na ha, okay lang. Then we have plus c. Or this is just equal to negative of sine. Ano, sino nga yung u natin? Cosine pala. Negative of cosine squared, kasi naka-square yan, x over 2 plus c. So you can have that one as your final answer. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Now, what if I'm going to let u be equal to sine x? Kasi yung derivative naman ng sine is cosine. Tama? So you can either choose sine or cosine. Walang problema doon. Tama? So suppose I will let u equal to sine. Let u be equal to sine x. So from that, we will have du equal to, what is the derivative of sine? Unsa? Unsa niko? Wala na negative, sir. Huh? Unsa niko? You can unmute your mic. Kung sine ang gamiton, wala na yung negative mo gawas. Yeah. So that's my point. So we have du, the derivative of sine is just cosine, positive. Diba? Dx. So therefore, wala na kayong negative nga makita. So we have this one here. So from that, we will now have the integral of sine x cosine x dx will become the integral of sine x is now u, cosine x dx is just du, right? So you have now u squared over 2 plus c. And what is your u? You have sine x. So you have sine squared x over 2 plus c. So you can have this one as your final answer. Actually, they are just the same. Equivalent expressions yan. Okay? Okay ba tayo? Negative. O, tama naman siya. Negative. Sir, nga nung na-square man ang u, man. Kani, dire? Kani, Christy, kana? O kanang nadiripod, kani? Kuan, chain rule. Integral of x to the n plus dx. So you have x to the n plus 1 over n plus 1 plus c. So naka u to the power of 1 man na. So u to the power of 1 plus 1. 'Di ba? Tama ba? Am I right or am I wrong? Or yeah. Yeah. Okay, gets, sir. Okay. I think this is the last one. Hindi pa pala, marami pa. 4 pa. And we only have, my God. Pwede natin tapusin lang. Madali lang naman to. Okay, tapusin lang natin ha. Sige. Integral of tangent 2x dx. We know that the integral of tangent squared x is what? Do we have an um integral of tangent squared? Meron ba? Meron bang tangent squared? I think wala pala. Right? But we can what they call this? We can express tangent squared into something else, right? But we will let first 2x be u. Okay? So we let u be equal to 2x. So that one will become du equal to 2 dx, right? So from that, we have du over 2 is equal to dx. Kasi dx lang naman itong nandito. Okay. So from that, we now have the integral of tangent squared. Um, Naging u na siya, right? Kasi si 2x ginawa natin u. And dx is now du over 2. Okay? So si 2 pwede nating ilabas. 1/2 pala, 1/2. So we have the integral of tangent squared u du. Now, we don't have a formula for the integral of tangent squared, right? Wala ba? Wala, no? I think wala naman siguro. Only for secant and cosecant squared. Meron. Okay, but tangent squared u can be expressed into something else. Okay? Take note if you can still recall the Pythagorean theorem for this one. We have 1 plus tangent squared theta is equal to secant squared theta. Tama? So it will follow that tangent squared theta is equal to secant squared theta minus 1. Tama? And secant squared x, meron siyang integral, right? That is equal to tangent. So therefore, we can solve this one. So we have 1/2 times the integral of tangent squared u can be expressed as secant squared u minus 1. Then we have du. Okay? And according to the sum or difference, pwede nating i-distribute yung integral. So we have 1/2 times the quantity, the integral of secant squared u du minus integral of 1 du or just du. Right? Okay ba? Can we still follow? Can you still follow, guys? Now, from that, we have 1/2 times the integral of secant squared u du is equal to tangent u, okay? Minus the integral of du is just u, right? Then we have plus c. Ayan. Or, simplifying, you have 1/2 times tangent 2x minus 2x plus c. Okay? Or pwede nyo i-distribute si 1/2. So this is just 1/2 tangent of 2x minus 1/2 times 2x is just x minus x plus c. And this is now our final answer. Naka-follow? Any questions? Any questions, guys? Hello? Do you have questions? Clarifications? Hello? Hello, guys? Wala. Okay. Last one, number 16. We have sine to the power of 4 as x cosine x dx. Now, in this case, What do you think yung ililet you natin? It's already 12. Oh my God. Let you. Ano yung ililet you natin? Is it sine or cosine? Now, take note, sine to the power of 4x. Ibig sabihin yan, you have sine x to the power of 4. Okay, so this can be written as the integral of sine x to the power of 4 cosine x dx. Okay? So, ganon. Now, if you will choose cosine as your u, then we will have negative sine x. But take note, si sine x here is raised to the power of 4. So therefore, mahihirapan tayo if si cosine yung ating ilalet u. Okay? So the other option will be sine x. Kasi kung sine x siya, you will have cosine x dx, which is nandito na. Mas madali siya. Okay? So we will let u be equal to sine x here. So we will have du equal to sine, no, cosine, the derivative of sine is cosine x dx, right? So from that, we will now have the integral of sine x is u. So we have u to the power of 4. Then cosine x dx is just du. Yan. Okay? So from that, we will now have u to the power of 4 plus 1. So you have 4 plus 1 is 5 over 4 plus 1, which is 5. Then you have plus c. And since u is sine x, so we have sine x to the power of 5 over 5 plus c, or you can write it as sine to the power of 5x over 5 plus c. And this is now our final answer. Any questions? Clarifications? Any questions? Clarifications, guys? Hello? None, sir. Okay. If none, for number 17 and 18, I think we cannot have this one na kasi medyo late na. It's already 12. Tignan nyo na lang sa handout. Nasa handout kasi ito, si 17 and 18. Okay? So, tingnan nyo na lang yung solution niya doon. I think for 17, you try na lang if you have time. For 17, you will let u be equal to tangent x. And for 18, you will let, what do you call this? See u be equal to sine x. Okay? So, number 17, you will let u be equal to tangent x here. And for 18, you will let u be equal to sine x. Ayan. Okay, number 16, balik daw. Ayan. So that's it for this lesson. Okay na? Okay, so that's it for this lesson. You try 17 and 18. Assignment yun na lang to. Okay, you try solving in your notebook. Okay, assignment yan ha. You try this. The next, in your synchronous class, we will discuss the other formulas for the integrals of trigonometric functions. So this is for tangent, cotangent, secant, and cosecant. Okay, may mga ln yan. Then we will also discuss, so we will have examples there. Discuss the inverse trigonometric functions, yung integral nila. Tatlo lang sila. Ayan, then we will have examples after. Okay? So I think that's it for today. Okay? Is there any questions, clarifications before I'm going to end this one? May questions ba? If there is none, if good lahat, can you please give me a thumbs up? May pa-thumbs up ba tayo dyan? Ayun. Okay, thank you. Salamat naman sa pa-thumbs up. Thumb up. Okay, ayan. Okay, so yun. So I'm going to end the recording na. Okay, hindi natin isasali yung mga picture-picture natin sa recording. Stop. Stop recording. Oh my God, the recording will be saved in Cheska Luis Bo's Google Drive. Bakit? Okay, bakit? Cheska, ganito na lang. You share it with me para ma-edit ko siya. Okay? Magme-message ako mamaya sa'yo. Anyway, sige.